Our motoring tip of the week concerns seasonal tire changeover. Now, certainly in the tire business, auto mechanics, most car repair shops, tire changeover season is a big deal for us. And approximately 50%, roughly 50% of Canadian motorists actually have two sets of wheels and tires for their cars. They'll have a dedicated set of winter tires. They've got their all-season or summer tires for the summertime, so they're doing switchovers usually in November and again in April in most cases. Now, a lot of car maintenance and repair issues come to light during those tire changeovers. And we've got some examples of some that just came out of my particular tire changeover season for my small group of customers. And I thought I'd bring them along and show you. Some of them are pretty graphic examples of things that we pick up on when we've got the wheels and tires off the car. So we're doing an undercar inspection because we're right there. Now, I mentioned 50%. Some provinces, i.e. Quebec, where you have mandatory usage of winter tires, of course, the number is much greater than 50%. But a lot of motorists have got their cars in the shop twice a year for this. So here would be the very first example, and this was winter tires that just came off a Forester. You can see when you look at the inside of this wheel, there's a tremendous accumulation of debris, mud and stones on the inside of this rim. So this was a right rear, 2019, that came off the vehicle, and we always chalk the position when they come off. You can see that that wheel is going to be tremendously out of balance. There's a lot of mass, a lot of weight to those stones, and they're never evenly distributed around the tire. So this car had a wicked vibration or wicked shake to it, and you can see when you look at the one behind it, this came off a front, that was left front. There is some mud in it, but not nearly as much weight to it. You know, the rear ones were certainly way out of balance. That's a simple matter of just cleaning it off, and that repairs that problem and recheck the balance on the wheel. Now, some of the other vehicles, this came off a Santa Fe SUV, and this is a shock absorber strut, and that's completely worn out. It's out of oil. You can see at the bottom it's all oily and greasy. The oil gradually leaks out of it and it accumulates dirt on it. So when you're doing your inspection, you can actually visually see that. Even though that it's assembled on the car, you can see the leakage that's taken place there. And when it comes off the car, you can see there's absolutely no resistance left to that strut. So that had to be replaced, and a wheel alignment too. So new set of struts and a new isolator on this side. It was damaged as well. Some of the other things that we see, for example, there's a hub, a wheel bearing hub and bearing assembly that came off a vehicle, and the wheel had a lot of looseness to it. So when we grab the wheel and tire top and bottom, there's a lot of kick or play, looseness to the wheel. It's banging around. In many cases, they're making a lot of noise, but maybe the customer didn't notice the noise. We notice the looseness in the wheel. We can hear some of the noise as well. Another thing that we often find is that the brake pads or rotors or any of the brake components on the vehicle, we look at them visually and we can see there's not much left of them. Now, the brake system is, in many cases, is still feels and appears to be working quite normally. They work quite well right down to the nitty-gritty end. But when you see a brake pad with this much wear on it, you know that this vehicle needs a brake job fairly soon. So, this is a good opportunity for the motorist to get their car inspected, in many cases free when the tires are changed over. Now, if your service provider is advising of additional work required after tire changeover season, if it's your regular guy, regular mechanic that you know and trust, you're good to go. If it's someone newer, you're a little bit uncertain, maybe you don't have any symptoms on your vehicle that match what they're trying to sell you, you might want to think about a second opinion. It sure doesn't hurt, and most of us in the automotive repair business are glad to do that, to verify that work actually, in fact, does need to be done, and it's certainly not a bad idea if you've got some doubts. That's your motoring tip of the week.